Welcome to This Is It. Let's go. All right, guys, this is going to be a little bit different video. I'm doing just a quick intro right now. There's already a piece that we've already done that's waiting. But before you watch that piece, I want to make sure you know what you're getting ready to look at is the war that is being waged by the female rival on all of society now. And the shooter, Cole Allen, I believe is his name. Cole Allen was was a member of a group called the Wide Awakes, which is a group from Lincoln's time that were young Republicans. They've hijacked that completely and turned it into an LGBTQ wide awake indigenous female from the pit is wide awake, and they are going to wage war now. Watch this. I'm going to show you from their own website. I had to put this piece in front of the piece we already did because yesterday when I started doing it, I came under attack again. It's always the same thing. They don't want y'all seeing these vids. Okay, watch this. Here we go. By the way, this is the Wide Awakes from the Wide Awake website. These are the ones that have hijacked the original group, the Wide Awakes, from Lincoln's time, and this is off their website. It'll all become very clear when you watch this whole video. Watch.
This is today, more than 5 centuries after Columbus, more than 2 centuries after this country was founded, and over a century after the emancipation. There's still blood in the streets, hate in hearts, voices being silenced, bodies being trafficked. And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone, anyone, to stop them.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. They're waiting for someone, anyone to stop it. What you're looking at is the eye right here. This is the eye from the pit. Indigenous women, WomXn, W-O-M, cross out the E, which represents those of us angelic beings in the system, men, male energy. Cross out that E with an X. W-O-M-X-N, WomXn, indigenous WomXn will lead us. Oh, that means the indigenous race from Genesis 1, the serpent race, twin female. I have an entire folder. We are 2X. The host body is a costume made by them.
Costumes. They are so important. Maybe the most important thing there is.
Now, the shooter was a member of the new group called the Wide Awakes. And the reason the new liberal group took over the Wide Awakes and they kind of restarted it under a whole different ideology. It's LGBTQ. And now they are publicly showing you right in your face, cryptically, that they're going to war against us. Watch this. I'm going to show you the same clip, and then I'm going to break it down. Watch this. This is pure propaganda. Watch this. Hang on one sec, guys. Here we go. Now they make sure they got a black guy reading.
This is today, more than 5 centuries after Columbus, more than 2 centuries after this country was founded, and over a century after the emancipation.
Okay, and see the Lincoln coin. Let me tell you about why they put Lincoln there. The original Wide Awakes were young Republicans between 18 and their mid-20s. They had hats and capes, and they walked around protecting Lincoln and other conservative pundits. Now, that dissolved, and these liberals have taken over now. Little Wide Awakes clip. They're going to paint Donald Trump as the ultimate evil that's been pulling the puppet strings from, like, he's part of the original evil that's making everybody slaves. They're totally misrepresenting everything. So he's talking about slavery right now. And the original Wide Awakes were young Republicans that guarded Lincoln. The new Wide Awakes are liberals that are LGBTQ.
There's still blood in the streets, hate in heart.
There's still blood in the streets, hate in hearts. I want you to look at the transition on the video. This had to be edited. The moment they said hate in hearts, they focused on a guy with angry Viking and two white guys going up in the face of a black guy. That is done with intent. Watch.
Hate in hearts.
Hate in hearts. What are we going to show you on your screen? Look at this. Watch.
Voices being silenced. Bodies being trafficked. And the force.
Okay, now they're going to put Donald Trump up there like he's the head of the military state. He's the big fascist. Wrong. Obama and the gang are the fascists. They're the ones that tried to subvert the will of the American people. They're the ones that stole elections. They're the ones that lied and formed a coup. James Comey, Clapper, Brennan, Strzok Page, and all of the others. But they're wide awakes. They are the serpent race. They are the pit wide awake in a host body. Now you know. Watch.
Forces that have plagued this country since its birth are.
So they're going to do away with those forces. Watch.
And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth.
The forces that have plagued this country since its birth. Let's put on closed caption. And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth. And they're showing you Donald Trump. Look at this garbage.
Are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone.
People are waiting for someone. Anyone. Ready? Look. See the eye opening? Watch this. This is them, guys. This is the all-seeing eye from the pit opening up. Watch. You see the moon? You see all this? You see the whatever? Whether or not it's the moon or the earth, blood red. Watch this.
Are waiting for someone.
They're waiting for someone. See the eye open up? This is the someone they're waiting for, the wide awakes.
Anyone to stop them.
Anyone to stop it. And who does the eye turn into? Indigenous WomXn will lead us forward. That's the serpent race, guys. The serpent race will lead us forward. There it is. You see the word forward? It's for war. W-A-R. Now watch this. You see the letter D? They don't ever let you see the letter D. Watch. They never let you see it. Will lead us for war. Is it for wars? Forward? Which is it? This is intentional editing, guys. Indigenous WomXn will lead us for war.
Now let's take a trip.
Look, they never let you see it.
Not of the physical. Let's
see what I mean? There it is. Now watch this. Now let's take a trip, but not of the physical. Now watch this.
Let's move in time to today, 160 years ago.
Okay, now let's move forward in time. 160, I recognize it right away. It means suddenly, unawares, out of nowhere. To suddenly come upon you. Like out of nowhere, it will suddenly come upon you. That's what 160 means. What's going to suddenly come upon us? Well, I'm glad you asked. Watch.
Go today.
And watch. Watch this. 160 years ago, watch.
Move in time to today, 160 years ago today.
160 years ago today. Now watch the screens change. Now, got people hanging.
There was blood in the streets, hate in hearts.
So now, they're showing you what's coming.
And the same forces that...
Okay, this entire video, I'm putting this on the front end of what I did last night. You're going to see an intro. You need to understand that this is all about the same thing as the Vatican. This is all the same. The Vatican is part of this. It's all 2X. You got to remember WomXn. Okay, now, we've tied together the shooter, Cole Allen. He was part of the Wide Awakes. The Wide Awakes, they are WomXn. Get it? They are the serpent race. Wide awake. Double downers. I told you, the pit's rising. They're rising up out of the pit. Their arm in the air like that shows the two different sides have come together, and they're rising up out of the abyss. That's what it means. Another consciousness is taking over the world right now, and it's her. It's the female rival. Okay. next segment, we're going to revisit We Are 2X.
Are you guys vaginas?
Women.
Source material is what we are.
Source material?
The source is where you come from.
Wow. These are demons.
Oh my god, what are they doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Is this performance art? Would you say this is your guys' performance art?
Would you say that it's our performance art?
It kind of looks like it, but I'm not sure what your intentions are.
Pure joy is our intention. Pure joy is our intention. Pure joy is our intention.
It's smiling at me.
You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to die!
It's smiling at me.
You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to die!
That's the only intention.
How long did it take you to make your costumes?
Since the beginning of time.
We're going to revisit this so you remember. I've been showing you this stuff for a long time, and it's here. We are 2X. We are the 2X, the Wide Awakes. And I'm going to revisit it, and I'm going to show you guys all the imagery. Remember the band The Warning? Everybody Must Die 2X. No XY in the system. Remember the women from the Women's March? How long did it take you to make your costumes? Since the beginning of time. They were dressed as vaginas. We are 2X. We are Wide Awake. Wide Awake is 2X. That's who they are. Remember Madonna? Remember Madonna doing the little shush thing? Look at her braids. Those are insect antennas on her. Those are also two different sperm on her. We are 2X. We are the Wide Awakes. And they even roll it in. Now watch this. I want you to see that they rolled it into this as well. Watch.
Let's take a trip.
Indigenous Womexn will lead us forward for war.
But not of the physical. Let's move in time to today.
Okay, look, let's move in time to today. Look what it says. Fight back. Look what's on your screen. Fight back. Gay oppression. Gay caucus. Okay, that's against war and fascists. So the gay lobby is coming against you. That's who's coming. Well, guess what? Genesis 1 was a gay race. It was parthenogenic. It was all female. It was homosexual. It was a homosexual race. Genesis 2, when the Lord God from heaven breathes into Adam the breath of life and man becomes a living soul, now you have another energy in man, male from heaven. So now you have Genesis 1 female, Genesis 2 male from heaven, Genesis 3 the commingling, and now she wants it all back. She wants everything. The commingling of being in the host body system, she is taking over the host body system now. 100% guaranteed, no doubt. I've got all the data. All the data proves it. Not a little bit, ad infinitum, over and over and over again. Everything in all the folders bears witness to exactly what I'm showing you. Okay, now let's watch. We're going to segue right now into the segment I did last night. Watch this intro, watch the next 20 minutes, and then we're going to add on to the back with the shooter, the agenda, and how it's all tied to the female rival in Daniel 12. And it's here. It's not coming. It's here. They're here. They're calling openly for war right in front of your face. Right there in their own website, they called for war. Okay. All right, folks. see through the veil today all the way. It's so easy to see through the veil now. All right, here we go. Let's run through that one more time. It's just an intro. Let's run through it one more time and pay complete attention to what's that intro trying to show you is killing and eating men, male energy. The reason I'm doing this is because I want you to understand the presidential assassination attempt was done by the female rival through a person. And when you see that, and when you understand that, and when we put this all together for you, you'll see this is simply the Bible rolling out the time of the female rival. You're going to see it so clearly, you're going to be like, wow, this is the most ridiculously obvious thing in the world. Okay, so we're going to watch that intro one more time. But before we watch it, and we just pay very close attention, let me show you this picture. It says wide, and over here, wide awakes. I want you to look at this eye right here. It's an eye. It's got a drop in it, but it also resembles a serpent's eye. And I'll show you other variations of this same eye. It says eyes open, capes on, wide awakes. And then it says Trump, Pence out now. So refusefascism.org. So this was back when Trump and Pence were in the White House. And they're saying, we want you out. We're the wide awakes. This is their logo. And then let me show you some of the rhetoric that's been playing since Trump's first term in office. You see, it says refusefascism.org. Now, I'm going to show you how what's been going on in geopolitics has been framing the female rival takeover that's coming right now. It's going to be impossible to miss. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, it'll be very simple for you to go, wow, this is a no-brainer now. If you haven't been converted, then just challenge the information. I'm showing you, just challenge it. Go look at my folders. Try and challenge the scriptures. Try and challenge the confirming witness. Like, why is the Vatican a snake? Who in the world could show you the Vatican's a snake? Why is the mouth of the snake female reproductive system when you turn it upside down? Why is it a big dead sheep? Why in the mouth of the serpent, that's the entire Vatican building, why is in the mouth there are a bunch of angels? Okay, so when you ask yourself these questions and you come to the answers that the Lord has given me, by the way, my name means Yahweh has given, because I am a conduit of energy coming from above to you. Yahweh has given, and I'm being used by Yahweh to give you information. By the way, Yahweh and Jehovah are the same. The self-existent eternal Jehovah, when the Lord God breathed into Adam, and man became a living soul, that's the self-existent eternal Jehovah, and the root of that is Yahweh. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how the presidential attack was all the female from the pit taking over an individual because they've been propagandized. They've been told the big lie for so long. You can't unpropagandize these people now. They've created a radical, total, I don't like using Trump derangement syndrome, but they have used their, their hatred for Trump to radicalize and to warp the minds of those that are following them. We could get into the psychology of it all, but once you've propagandized people like this, you can't unpropagandize them. It's next to impossible because they bought in the big lie. It's called grosse Lüge. Okay, Hitler used it. Grosse Lüge. Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's watch this one more time. Pay attention that everything is about a serpent race eating male, whether or not it's in the form of a guy sitting in a bathtub or whether or not it's a guy that's taking a jacuzzi, a serpent comes out, gets him, whether or not it's Miley Cyrus in Mother's Daughter. That's the name of the video that you're going to see her in, Parthenogenesis, Mother's Daughter. Whether or not it's, a Zoomies bag from the mall where you go buy merchandise and it's got the same thing as Miley Cyrus's crotch. Well, what's it eating? Little lights that swim, which is male energy. You're going to see again that the attack on President Trump was from the female rival, from the abyss, taking over an individual. And let me show you what helped do that. Okay, let's make sure. Make sure you remember these faces for the future. All right, guys, here we go.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent.
I'm going to pause that. This absolute garbage pail. This man is pure garbage. I'm sorry, but he's pure garbage.
The spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump...
Again, every one of these people, if you go look at their records and you see who all these people are and what they stand for and what they represent and the words that come out of their mouths, they are liars, every single one of them. If you're a liar, you are a child of Satan. If you lie, if you haven't repented, the Bible says, my people are a people that will not lie. When you see this kind of organization to press this kind of an issue, like Donald Trump, Donald Trump's a fascist. No, y'all are the fascists. You're projecting your evilness on other people. You're accusing other people of what you yourselves are already guilty of. Trying to take the spotlight off yourselves while other people defend themselves on fictional allegations from the liars. That's always Satan's playbook. I got to deal with it in courts. It was amazing. I'll be like, you're accusing me of what you do. What are you doing? Psychopath. And it is. It's a form of psychopath. And all these people do it. Every single one. Now, let me start over here real quick because I want to make sure we get them all in frame. Remember the names and faces. And thanks for letting me get my just beyond annoyed opinion in.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
And we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Okay, every one of those dirt bags, Mr. Waltz from Minnesota, $19 billion in stealing American money from little kids in America, from meals that were supposed to be provided for little kids. He's part of that. He'll steal money from children that were supposed to get fed. Rachel Maddow, she lies like it's nothing. You can just side by side her video comments on different subjects and watch her say one thing one moment, the opposite thing the next moment. These people are united in their lying. What does that make them? They're of the same mindset, but they lie together in unison. They're of one mind. You know what mind they're of? The wide awakes. The wide awakes. They're of the wide awakes mind. Did you know that the shooter, he was pontificating his association with the wide awakes? Now, I'm wide awake myself, but I'm wide awake from above. I've been converted. My eyes have been made single. I know up again. I know I've received Christ in me. Who I was is totally different than who I am. I won't lie. I won't cheat. I won't steal. I live my life to help other people now instead of self-centric. I become other-centric. A total revamp. Okay. I'm wide awake, two eyes up. Now, what if you have one eye up and one eye down, but you become wide awake the other way? That's what wide awakes means. They're wide awake, their eyes are open, completely down. Just like a while back when the Lord told me, I want you to put the other eye on the dragon, Jonathan. I had a piece of metal I had carved out, and it was the Led Zeppelin angel holding on to the Z and the P. And the Lord told me, it's time to put the other eye on this dragon because their eyes are open now, both eyes. Not one eye up, one eye down, both eyes down. And the Lord was telling me there's an awakening. It's happening. Now, they're calling themselves the wide awakes. Stop and think about it. Who's wide awake? The serpent race. That's what I've been telling you over. Well, who is the serpent race? It's the female rival, as mentioned in Daniel 12. There shall be a time of trouble since there ever was a nation. Daniel 12. At that time, that great Prince Michael shall stand up in defense of his people. Stand up in defense of his people. And there shall be a time of trouble. The word time of trouble means a female rival, the pit. The female energy from the pit will rise up against the angelic essence within the host body system to destroy all of it. That's the goal.
In a world that is bland, colorless, and cold, where banality grows like a fungus or a mold, there live the boring sheeple who look just like each other. A darker force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the little deviants. They come from underground. They're rising from the depths to take those sheeple down. The sheeple are compliant and make for fine ingredients. For customizing anything, here come the little deviants.
Okay, now that I've shown you that and I've laid that groundwork, now we're going to launch into all this data that supports everything I just told you. And let's just look at it. Let's just have fun. I mean, this is wild. I may have to take a couple breaks, and if I change shirts, it's because the air is not working over here. But I got to get this stuff out to you guys. I gotta make it happen one way or another. So I may be sweating and stuff. I may turn a fan on right here. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, ready? Watch this. Okay, so we heard them all say what? Fascism, 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 fascism. One more time to what they're propagandizing.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what
kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
That's why they're willing to orchestrate a coup. See, they call the enemy of themselves for the exact thing they are doing. See, they're the fascists. They're the ones taking your vote and throwing it in the garbage or flushing it down the toilet, because Donald Trump looks like obviously did win the 2020 election. And there's a lot going on that's proving now that everything that they did while Obama was in office and Biden when he was in a stolen office was to work and subvert the will of the American people and commit treason. All the while they're calling y'all the fascists. They're calling Donald Trump the fascist. Okay, but remember, this is focused towards two different ideologies. One calls themselves the left, one calls themselves the right, liberal, conservative. I'm neither of those. I'm a born-again believer that can see the game. Now let me play it out for you. We'll finish watching this. I'll give Dr. Turley like 1 minute.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
What you just watched isn't fringe. That's not from some dark corner of the internet. That's the modern day Democrat Party. That's CNN. That's MSNBC. That's sitting United States senators and House members, people with press credentials, blue check marks, and primetime slots. And they've been saying some version of that every single day, 24/7, for 10 years straight.
Okay, point's been made. That's what I wanted to make. I wanted to make that point. Then I wanted you to look again, wide awake. See it? The wide awakes. Look right here. RefuseFascism.org. Trump Pence out now. So this is when Trump and Pence were in the White House. This was already up and rolling. Okay. Okay. Now I want to just go through a couple slideshows. So this is where the slideshow begins. Just look at the images. You're going to see them again. Right over here to the right. These are the wide awakes now. This is their imagery. Look at their imagery. Look at the imagery. Right side up, upside down, drop in the eye. See the drop in the eye? Just look at, take a look. I screenshotted some of these. I'm going to show you what's in them so you can discern clearly what you're looking at. But I just want you to see, go through a cycle. There you go. Okay, now let's go down here and see if it'll give us a cycle right here. Right here. Okay, lift every vote. Florida, Malala, Roar. Okay, just keep an eye on the symbology. I run with Maud. Okay, the meaning of the name Maud, mighty in battle, strength in combat. That's why he's wearing that shirt. I run with Maud. Let's see. And then let me show you this in just a minute. Okay, I'm letting the slideshow play one more time. I run with Maud. Vote Queen. So LGBTQ, vote Queen. Here we go. Awake. So a wide awake, like the third eye in the center of his forehead. Their logo is a rotating eye. See it? Merch right down here. Merch shop. Look at right here. Okay, now let's watch this video clip.
This is today, more than 5 centuries after Columbus, more than 2 centuries after this country was founded, and over a century after the emancipation. There's still blood in the streets, hate in hearts, voices being silenced, bodies being trafficked. And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone.
Okay, it's not allowing me to respond to it. It's kind of blocking me out right now. Isn't that fascinating? So let's try and play the video. Look at this. Here we are again. These are the kind of cyber attacks we come under. Watch this. I just refreshed the whole page. Wow. Absolutely.
More than 5 centuries after Columbus, more than 2 centuries after this country was founded, and over a century after the emancipation. There's still blood in the streets, hate in hearts, voices being silenced, bodies being trafficked. And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone, anyone, to stop them. Now let's take a trip, but not of the physical. Let's move in time.
This is absolutely wild, guys. Check it out. This video clip I'm playing for you right now, it will not let me access the clip. It won't let me pause it. Won't let me show you the very things they edited in at the time. The voice tells you what you're looking at, and I'm going to break it down for you. I've already screenshot it, but this is another form of attack. Why was this happening only now while I'm doing a video? This didn't happen the whole time I've been prepping for this video, only since the recorder's been on. Now I'm dealing with problems. Here, it won't let me watch. It won't let me pause it. Won't let me expand it. You know what? I've got other ways around it. The links I have to go to, just to play a video sometimes, to show y'all, it's literally crazy. That's the kind of attack we're under. We have to have different protocols just to get videos done now. I mean, we can't just rely on our equipment that we can press a button and normally record like everybody else can. Just like what they did to us on YouTube. This is wild. We are under it. Okay, here it is. Here's the exact same video clip. We downloaded it and we're playing it on a different venue. So watch this. I'm going to let it play all the way through. Then I'm going to break it down real quick.
This is today, more than 5 centuries after Columbus, more than 2 centuries after this country was founded, and over a century after the emancipation. There's still blood in the streets, hate in hearts, voices being silenced, bodies being trafficked. And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone, anyone, to stop them. Now let's take a trip, but not of the physical. Let's move in time to today, 160 years ago today. There was blood in the streets, hate in hearts, and the same forces that plagued this country since its birth were working to carve up this land and tear it apart. People were waiting for someone, anyone, to stop them. It was at this time that everyday people like you and me dared to face down the forces of their time. They called themselves the Wide Awakes. They wore capes and wielded an extraordinary superpower. They believed that they could stand up for revolutionary ideas, bring freedom to the enslaved, and change the course of this country. When they took to the streets, capes on their backs, they marched to unlock the latent powers in every man in cities across this country. They became the most influential political movement ever. They got the most revolutionary president in American history elected and got him to end slavery when no one else would. You can move through time to any moment and see the same crimes, the same victims, the same villains, just different names, different faces. But you'll also find heroes. Let's take another trip to today, but 160 years in the future. There aren't forces, there aren't yet victims, no genocides committed, just a blank slate and opportunity. This is today. And regular people like you and me are using our very real superpowers to prevent history from repeating itself. The Wide Awakes has officially been reinstated. We're fighting to bring power back to the people, to end the senseless killing, to wake us up from this American.
See the eye from the abyss raising up? Okay, see it? Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you notice that the voice and what he's saying with the editing, what's the message? White man bad, new gay race good. White man bad, new gay LGBTQ race good. That's the message. Watch, I'll show you the editing.
Nightmare and make an American dream that's real and for all of us. So today is the day. What we do today, tomorrow, next month, next year, will shape this country and our world 160 years from now. Now that's power. We don't fantasize about superpowers we don't have. We stand tall in the ones we do. We're living like T'Challa, fighting for our people, for our freedoms, for all our futures. I'm Black Thought. My eyes are open.
I'm Black Thought. Black Thought. I'm Black Thought. Let's make sure I'm Black Thought.
I'm Black Thought. My eyes are open. My cape is on.
Yep, I'm Black Thought. My eyes are open. My cape is on. Okay, well, guess what? If you can't recognize anti-white propaganda when you see it, well, then maybe you can't recognize it. They've identified themselves. So the female rival, the beginning of the world, the host body system was parthenogenesis, virgin genesis, female, starting the host body system. And she's laying claim to the host body system. That's the war between Elohim and the Lord God that's going on over the course of the Bible. When you see it, it's unmistakable. She is laying claim to the host body system. That's what she's doing. And she's taking over it through a spiritual takeover. Now, let me go back for just a moment and play a couple things for you. Let me just go back and show you a couple things.
There's still blood.
They're talking about, just watch the transfer of words with imagery. After the emancipation. Okay, so setting the slaves free. By the way, the Wide Awakes were back in the 1860s. They were a Republican group of young men that were basically between 18 and their mid-20s, and they wore capes and these hats, and they went around and escorted Lincoln and other politicians that were of the conservative movement in order to keep them safe during the attempt to emancipate the slaves, because the politicians were under duress. However, the entire thing has been hijacked by LGBTQ, hidden in plain sight. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to prove it to you. They put it right in there. It's right in here. Just you maybe couldn't see it. I'm going to show it to you. Here it is.
Emancipation. There's still blood in the streets, hate.
There's still blood in the streets, hate. The first thing they're an editor edited in, he says the word hate, and they show you angry Viking, like Viking, and they show you two white guys up in the grill of a black guy. So they're doing
in hearts.
So they're beginning their propaganda with anti-white guys. Those are the guys that hate, and we're the guys that are being oppressed. Always the same. Always the same. Play the victim.
Voices being silenced, bodies being trafficked, and the forces.
And ready, bodies. Who do you think they made this to be? They made this to be Donald Trump. Absolutely. Bodies being trafficked. They're blaming that on Donald Trump instead of the Democrats that are all the serious pedophiles. Yeah, look how they switched the whole role. Watch. Ready, watch.
And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth.
And the forces that have plagued this country since its birth. And look who they have right here. I mean, do y'all understand what complete and utter propaganda garbage this is? Okay, but watch this. I want to show you something very specific. Ready? Watch.
Are still working to tear it apart. People are waiting for someone, anyone, to stop it.
They're waiting for someone, anyone, to stop it. And they show you the eye. And let me show you who that someone, anyone is. For someone, anyone, see the eye opening? And you see WomXn. Watch this. Indigenous WomX, instead of WOMEN, they're putting an X over the E. You know why? We are 2X. That's their identity. Twin female. Twin female. WomXn. They take the word man and they delete it with an X, showing that female has taken over the man. What has Jonathan Kleck been telling you? Oh, I don't know. Since forever. It's a female takeover of the system, of female energy. And here it is in plain sight on their site. I'm simply showing you their words, their imagery from their site, and they hijacked what was originally the Wide Awakes, a conservative movement that was with Lincoln, and they've taken it and they've made it into something the opposite. And here it is. I'll prove it all day long now. Look. Indigenous WomXn will lead us forward. What are the indigenous WomXn? Oh, well, let's see. Genesis 1, let us create man in our image. So, you know, like when the Ozzy Osbourne comes up on the video and it's got the two women, Mut, that's Mut in Egyptian. They got the things on their head, just like Mut from ancient Egypt. So they come up and they form the serpent race. Oh, so the serpent race is WomXn. Exactly. The serpent race is WomXn. I'll say it again. The serpent, 2X, twin female, just like Dos Equis. You got the two girls on each side of the most interesting man in the world, and he's blocked in by twin females, or female on both sides. Same thing here. Twin female comes up, starts a serpent race, and they're saying, now, since male was introduced to the system in Genesis 2, when the Lord God breathed into man the breath of life and man became a living soul, and then they commingled, well, they want to destroy all the male energy within the system. That's their goal. WomXn, no more man. No WOMAN, it's WOMAXN. Get rid of the man out of it. So it's a different man. Did you know that there's two different types of men in the Bible? There's when the Lord God breathed into Adam and man became a living soul, it's Hebrew word 120. And then when you read Genesis 4, when there's a commingling of the races, it says, I have gotten a man from the Lord. The word is Isha, I think Isha Nashim, and it means a desperately wicked, bloodthirsty, melancholy, desperately wicked man. There's two different kinds of men, Ish and Adam. Two different men, just like Cain is one kind of man, desperately wicked, and Abel. Different. One evil, one good. One's from Adam, one's from the angel of the abyss, one's from the wicked one. The Bible says even Cain was of the wicked one. That was his seed inside Eve. So now that I've laid this out, now you can see, whoa, there's an organization that's called the Wide Awakes because the pit is taking over. Remember, I've told you about this before, the little clip from, Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull. You will become us, Dr. Jones. Like the sheep will become the serpent race, Dr. Jones. And the best part of all, you'll never even know it's happening. WomXn, indigenous females from the beginning. They were 2X female, all female energy. Even if there was a guy standing there with a penis, he had 2X energy and his sperm were female sperm. There it is. Okay, that's the organization that the shooter belonged to that went after Trump. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But I've got, like I said, probably another hour and a half of overload data for you guys. And it's so hot in here right now, guys. I got to go douse my head, get my head wet. I probably got to set a fan up right here. It's getting super duper hot. So let me just save this right now. And then we're going to go into the next part right now. Okay, so here we go. Waiting for anyone to stop them. Indigenous WomXn will lead us forward. Indigenous female rival. The indigenous female rival will lead the new race forward. That's it. Right there, right in your face. I can see it. I can read it. I see their plans. Now
let's take a trip.
Okay, let's put a pause.